Hello, this is Chef John from foodwishes.com with No-Knead pizza dough, the remix. I know we already posted a recipe for No-Knead pizza dough, but I decided to revisit it, tweak it a little bit. Some of you thought it was a little tough to work with, a little wet, a little sticky. So here is the new and improved No-Knead pizza dough. Here we go. Now one change, don't be scared, but we're going to use the scale for the dry ingredients. Last time we used cups, but weight way more accurate. So I'm going to start with 2 ounces of whole wheat flour, and then 16 ounces of white flour. Ooh, check it out, my cat just walked by. By the way, don't write these down. All the ingredient amounts will be on the site as usual. Then we're going to go with a 1/4 teaspoon of dry active yeast, a 1.5 teaspoons of fine salt, 1/4 teaspoon of sugar, and 2 tablespoons of regular olive oil. And then last but not least, warm, not scalding hot, a 1.5 cups of warm water, like bath water, 90 degrees to 100 degrees, perfect. Now this is a no-knead dough. I didn't say it's a no-stir dough. So we're going to take a spatula and we're going to stir all that together and keep stirring and stirring and stirring for about, 3 or 4 minutes until you have this, a sticky, kind of firm but extremely sticky ball of dough that will pull away from the sides of the bowl, and it will look exactly like that. All right, we're going to cover that with plastic. I'm going to throw it in the oven with the light on, and it's going to sit there, believe it or not, for 18 to 20 hours until it just about doubles in size. Okay, it's going to look like that. It's going to be all bubbly. It's going to smell yeasty. It's going to look pretty cool. All right, so you're going to flour your work surface very well, and then use a spatula to scrape it onto the board. And you can see, even though there was really no kneading done, how just beautifully elastic that dough is. It's incredible. All that gluten was developed just through sheer time. So we're going to add a little flour to the top, flour our hands, and just pat it down to flatten it out. Get it into like a rectangle shape, only so it's easy to cut into 4 equal pieces. So this will make like 4 8 or 9 inch pizzas. Okay, so after you've done that, my favorite part. All right, form it into a ball, put a little extra flour on it, just enough to keep it from sticking. And then we're going to do what I call the rotate, stretch, and tuck. All right, RSAT for short. So you're going to slowly rotate it around in your hands. While you're doing that, you're stretching the dough from the top down underneath, and you're tucking it in the bottom with your fingers. So maybe go around 5 or 6 times, although you're going to be tempted to do more because it just feels so incredibly good. I mean, there's nothing that feels as wonderful as fresh, supple pizza dough. If you've never done this before, you have to try it. It's an incredible experience. All right, if you're ready to make pizza now, cover this with a towel, let it sit for 15 minutes, and you're ready to make pizza. Or put it in a Ziploc bag and refrigerate it. You can keep in the fridge 2-3 days. In fact, some people like it better refrigerated overnight. They say it makes the crust even more tender. So anyway, this is a no-knead pizza dough recipe. It's not a pizza making demo, but I'm going to show you quickly how I finished. So I'm going to put a little flour on. Now you can spin it, you can stretch it, you can do it any way you want, but you know what? Just take a roller, put a little flour on, and roll it out. There's no shame. Don't let those pizza snobs tell you you can't use a roller. Like I said, this is going to make about a 9-inch pizza. So I'm going to roll that out. I think this particular dough works better for thin crust than thick, but either way, it'll work. I'm going to take a sheet pan with a little bit of cornmeal, put your dough down, and then don't be an American. And by that I mean don't put 4 cups of sauce and 7 pounds of cheese on. Just barely enough sauce to cover. I'm going to go with some hot pepper flakes, some fresh basil and oregano from my garden, and then of course some mozzarella. By the way, if you can grate your mozzarella, it's probably not that good. The good stuff is just too soft and creamy to grate. So this is why you see me with these kind of little cubes. All right. And again, not too much. Good pizza is an exercise in restraint. And I would have done a little light dusting of Parmesan, but I was out, so I didn't. All right. I'm going to use the famous bottom of the oven method. So as high as your oven will go, mine's at 550. I'm going to place the pan right on the bottom of the oven for 4 minutes, which is going to help crisp up the bottom. I'm going to transfer it to the middle rack for another 5 or 6 minutes until it looks like that. Beautifully golden. The bottom will be slightly charred and crispy, or at least it should be. All right, get it off the pan onto a rack so the bottom doesn't get soggy. And let it cool for a couple minutes. 3rd-degree molten cheese burns are not fun. All right, we're going to cut that up, and so delicious. That's all there is to making your own pizza dough. And did I mention there's no kneading? There's no kneading. It could not be easier. So if you've never made pizza before, you have to give this a try. Do not be on your deathbed complaining to your relatives, oh, I wish I made pizza. I never made homemade pizza. Come on, while there's time, make some homemade no-knead pizza dough. All the ingredients are on the site, so go get the exact measurements. And as always, enjoy.